As OEMs begin to explore the possibilities of having their own operating systems, do you think this could give Linux the boost it needs to gain significant market share? Now I realize all the desktop Linux champions out there say, yes! But I honestly think that the Linux that will ultimately gain adoption is going to be more like the Linux that you see with Android. Less about the Linux that you may have seen in GNOME. Not to say that it's not a possibility that something like Ubuntu could not succeed. It's just that I think Google is moving that ball forward at a much more rapid pace. And if you think about computer usage in general, you realize that most of the world, and it may not be part of the world that happens to be watching this video, uses this or something like this as their computer. We've covered this before. We've answered this question. Is a phone a computer? It absolutely is. This type of device is the way most people today are interfacing with the internet. Google will absolutely be there. Android will absolutely be there. Linux will absolutely be there. So will it gain traction? It already has. Linux is everywhere, dude. You couldn't stop Linux even if you wanted to. Even if you tried, you could not stop the momentum behind Linux. But don't pigeonhole, and I think this is more geeks issues, less mine. Don't pigeonhole Linux into being a desktop operating system. It's beyond that, okay? Its power is well beyond. To see, say, Linux supplant Windows or Mac OS X on the desktop, I don't think that's going to happen. Doesn't mean that it won't. Doesn't mean that I don't support, the endeavors that are somehow connected to Linux in any capacity. Just that I don't think it's just not realistic. Linux, if it's going to succeed, is going to succeed here. But it has to get usable first. Google's been working on that with Android, and I think they've been doing a fair job, truth be told. And granted, they've kind of not done well recently. I mean, so many devices are still running gingerbread instead of, what happened to honeycomb? Ice cream sandwich, anybody? Some people, God forbid, or even on Android devices earlier than that. It's such a fragmented operating system and device minefield. Either way, that is Linux's best hope to really gain traction, have a foothold in the marketplace. And it's, I think, already gained significant market share. Just, I don't think it's going to happen here. I really don't. That on the desktop, that's just going to be largely for geeks. Hate to say it. You could say that, the Chromebook, with the Chrome OS, there you go. There's Linux. It's a web browser. That's going to be probably more successful than Ubuntu. Just telling you, man. Because as much as you may want to hate on Windows and Mac OS X, bottom line is they're definitely out there as prime operating systems. I think there are probably more people using an iPad than there are using Linux on the desktop. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't get mad at me, man. Hey, it's like, yeah. Like it's my problem. Like it's my fault. Like I'm the developers. You nut. My email address is chris@perillo.com. You're more than welcome to disagree with me. You'll be wrong, but you're more than welcome to disagree with me. You'd be wrong in suggesting that this is not going to be the way that Linux is going to take over the world. See how there's a balance, right? It's not just, gotta remove the blinders for a second, people, if you are really people. Because some of you guys don't even have a soul. It's so obvious. You're so not there. We're not even connecting on a metaphysical level. You can follow me on Twitter, circle me on Google+, like me on Facebook. You don't have to like me, though. That's the good news. You can hate me and still like me on Facebook. I love that about Facebook. I really do. And, of course, you can just join us. They got the chat room, part of a live video feed. We're geeking out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.perillo.com. We'll see you later.